The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to McStabber Studios, Kansas City, a domain divided. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I am playing Dr. Katerina Rakosi of Clan Zamitzi.
And I'm Dale, and I'm playing Callum McFarlane of Clan Venture.
And I'm Ree, I'm playing Rashad Giovanni of the Hakata.
I'm House, I play Bo Solomon, Clan Toreador.
Hi, I'm Mishtavish Red, and I'm playing Gwyn Schultz of the Ministry.
Hi everybody, I'm the Ravnos Archon, and I'm going to be playing Rurik Rakosi, sire of Katerina Rakosi, also of Clan Zamitzi.
And welcome our guest, Ravnos Archon, for his first guest appearance on this particular stream. When we were with this coterie of vampires last week, man, just a minute ago, I remembered everything that happened. Now I'll forget. Oh, they went and walked their new domain. There you go. Gone. They went and walked their new domain and found out, well, the prince wasn't exactly forthcoming of everything going on in the domain, because they found out that there was a Bruja by the name of Johnny who had, well, he's flat out running protection racket in their domain. Just flat out running protection racket. And after a bit of a foreplay fight with Kat and Johnny, they managed to work a deal with him. And with the deal that was made, they're going to help him with dealing with a gang a few blocks north of their domain so that he can move his operations up there. We'll see how that plays out. You know, he wouldn't be asking for help unless it was bad. But as we open up this night, it's a few days later, because there was a text sent for Bo to meet with Otto in Elysia. So the coterie is gathered at this point to head up to Elysia. Now you've got your armbands on that mark that, you are heading to Elysia and can't be attacked. You take them off once you get there because, you don't want to walk in wearing them. Though I'd imagine you as the Camarilla in the Camarilla controlled area don't do that as much as the Sabbat. So maybe you're not wearing armbands. Maybe you don't give a shit. But tonight they've been sent over to the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art for Elysia. And I'm going to turn it over to the players as they're riding in the car so that they can discuss if they need to anything to go on at Elysia tonight.
Everyone all right?
Yeah.
All good here. Just taking care of some things around the house. Maintenance, new guards and such, training.
I mean, I haven't been kidnapped, so that's a plus.
It was a pattern that you were unfortunately falling into.
I'm glad you have a sense of humor about it, Gwen.
Not to take away from the humor, but have you had any other contact with your friend?
No, I haven't. I need to look into all of it more. And I can reach out to him, but I need to know something first.
I mean, he's just put himself in a precarious situation as well. So just I guess it's to our benefit to know if he's safe as well.
I think the answer to that is definitely a no. You know your brother isn't safe to be around.
No, but I don't think my brother is necessarily in the city right now. Otherwise, he'd be antagonizing me a little more than he has been.
Lucky.
The thing is, his orders have a way of working their way down.
I would say it's just delayed. It's inevitable. It'll come back around.
And even then, something's still going on.
Right.
And I don't know what else it could be. He's having memory issues, but the opposite.
Like, his memory's stronger than it used to be?
Perfect.
Does that ring any sort of bell, I'll say, to any of us? Like, anything we know might cause something like that, storyteller?
Nope.
Okay.
You've never heard of somebody developing a nearly photographic memory.
Okay.
And you're sure
I say this
before.
I'm sorry?
You're sure he didn't have this ability beforehand?
Yeah. He's not one to make something like that up. And he seemed so concerned.
I say this from a point of not knowing this person. Prior to this development, was he bright, dim, halfway between the two, kind of? Like, what was his general intelligence level prior to this?
Same as mine.
Okay.
That's how I know him, as we went to school together.
So scary smart.
Yeah.
But now he's even smarter, or at least can retain more.
I guess that's if he can hold it together, though.
Is this causing him to panic?
Yes. He's very worried. I mean, I would be too. If some change, like, that's why I want to meet with Setsuko. I don't know what's causing it. It's something different. I don't know if it's... I don't know.
However we can help.
If you would like, I could scan his soul to see if any changes have been made. Of course, I would have to meet him in order to do so.
Let me see what I can find out first, but I think that might be helpful.
Is that a word?
So we know what I'm doing tonight. And we know what Bo is doing tonight. What about the rest of you?
I'm just here to make sure we provide a collective front.
Yeah. And for the entertainment.
Yeah, that too.
Lizzie is always good for that.
I mean, we got a new domain. We got to walk around, strut a little bit.
Exactly.
Callum, I'm going to say this, knowing that we do not have a restaurant right now, no more invitations. No more invitations. Please, for the love of all that is good, no more invitations. Or at least run it by me first.
Sure.
We'll save the invitations until we're ready to actually set up an ambush, okay?
Exactly my thought. I'm holding a special little place in my heart for Becky.
She's worse than the werewolf.
Do you all think that the president will be there today or tonight?
I mean, who's to say? I mean, with how many different Elysia spots there are, I mean, he could be. I mean,
I think it'd be harder to keep him on a tight leash with so many people around.
yeah, good point. A lot of
Good
different
point.
emotions. A lot of different emotions flying around. Especially if those from the other side make an appearance.
You know, I've been mulling that over a bit.
Mullen what?
The fact that Tanya keeps him on a leash as she does.
I'd be careful with that phraseology around him, but I get your point.
You would think if she's his child, which has been conjecture,
Right.
that if he at some point wasn't in the mood for that, he could just ignore it. She has to be at least on equal footing with him, or
They
more
might have
or more powerful than him.
If he chooses to resist it, though.
That's the thing. But who's to say in whatever state he's in, he might want to resist it.
That's fair. It is uncontrollable.
Right.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So if she can get past that to control him, she is at least on his same level, if not above him.
It would be a good explanation for her, like her kind of being exhausted, nearly passing out at the shelter.
Rashad, do you think you could get anything if you looked at her soul?
It's possible. However, if we assume that they are older and more powerful than they appear, it's possible that they will be better prepared to defend themselves against it, or even we can detect when someone uses such an ability.
Yeah, that's shaky water.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they could tell.
There are many different things that exist, many things that my elders didn't explain to me. I wouldn't want to drag you all down through my curiosity.
I think we're all curious. That's why we're talking about it.
Kat, I'm
Yeah.
not saying you have this kind of relationship yet, but do you think this is something you might be able to ask Bella as your relationship further develops? Kind of.
I think so. I think so.
Don't want to ruin anything.
But I don't even, I wouldn't be surprised if even she doesn't know.
Well, she's still on the HOA.
She is. But I'm going to tell you, from what I've gathered from the bits and pieces she has told me, there is a lot of keeping some things secret from the HOA.
I guess my point being, like, whether she knows or it might be useful that she knows,
Yeah.
developing her as an ally further.
Absolutely. That's my plan. I mean, she and I get along great.
I wonder if Trey would know anything.
That would be interesting.
I get that his disguises don't always work if he's trying to be someone, like, important.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's in the background as someone less important just listening, he may have heard something.
That is a very good assumption.
And he's been around longer than us.
Mhm.
And he's way more likely to talk openly than Bella.
That's true, too. He does like to talk.
Is there anything you'd like me to ask Otto, not necessarily in relation to this, but maybe tangentially related to this when we have this meeting, or that you just like to know about him? Because I'll be up front. This is kind of a private matter, nothing dangerous, just a project I'm working on that I think will be of a benefit to us. But I'd like to have this meeting, just him and I. But I'm more than happy to ask questions, depending on their appropriateness, I guess.
I don't really have anything for Otto right now myself. I don't know if anybody else does or not, though.
Not at the moment.
Thank you for offering.
Yeah, Callum, I guess you're certainly welcome to join because it is restaurant related. But if you also just want to enjoy yourself, it is not directly related to restaurant operations per se.
I think I would like to tag along just for the exposure.
Of course.
What is it related to exactly?
Please don't take my desire to hold this close to the chest as trying to be deceptive. I don't know if what I have in my head that I need his help with will even work. So I want to try and see if I can build a foundation for this project, this idea that I have first. But I will need someone with thin blood's abilities to make it happen.
Bo, come on. I told you my darkest secret.
It is very creative.
Fine. You're going to think it sounds silly.
Peer pressure's a bitch, ain't it?
I know. I said, well, and she's not even like using her powers is the scary thing.
She's terrifying. She's the scariest of us all.
I don't know what you mean.
I'm sure you don't.
I am fortunate enough that despite my change, I can still be good at my craft. I have the ability to taste food, to enjoy food. Can't keep it down. But the stuff that matters to me is still there. And I think, or I hope, that I can give that experience to others. Hey, I like a good neck as much as the next person. Don't get me wrong. But I'd like to find a way for someone to, for a cost, of course, this is not a free venture, to pay for me to create a dish that can evoke a powerful memory. When they take the bite, they taste it, it will bring them back to something before their change and remind them. And of course, this is with their consent, a memory they are wanting to evoke. But I'd like to try and give them a taste of before.
That's
With a full memory, not just an emotion?
I don't know. I don't know what
the limitations
Again,
would be. Right.
Right. This is still so much in its infancy.
I will
see.
Oh, please go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I will tell you something. I had some association with Urzule in Chicago.
That's who I was going to mention.
And what you're talking about, and you wanting to talk to Otto, I put two and two together. You want to see if there's some kind of thin blood alchemy that can accomplish this with your cooking. She did utilize thin bloods and their alchemy in concocting a drink that she called the Urzule Special. It heightened sensation for pleasure and pain and had a very intoxicating effect on kindred.
So
because they could
right now-
feel like they were alive.
and I think that could certainly enhance this. Over the last, I don't know.
I'm not saying that that's the only thing
Right,
that can be
no,
accomplished,
no,
but
right.
I see what you're doing with that, and I don't know if it can be done, but you're going down the right path to see if it can be done because we have no idea. I mean, from what I understand, the alchemy is so varied based on who does it. You know, that possibly that it could be anything is possible. You know.
So right now, I've been toying with this new ability, and it's strange because I thought it was supposed to work the other way, where I could tap into the senses of another person. Well, with how it's working with me is I can share my senses with someone else, including the sense of taste. And with my heightened senses, I could probably replicate something similar to that. Now it's evoking the emotional and the memory from what I make is the next step.
You may want to ask some of the eldest of our kind. I remember some of my uncles mentioning that they could experience their memories when they went to sleep. I'm not sure if they meant it literally or not, but it seems like it's what you want.
And I mean, as a chef, I want it to be related, like a food. I want it to be around food, like the comfort of home or an experience they had. Like that is I'll say the practical use, or maybe the impractical. It's art. Like it's probably more impractical, but I want it to be based around the fucking food, you know? That's what I've been.
They
put
have
here
a
to
slice
do.
of cake and they remember a joyful birthday.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it would be very practical. Being able to give someone old, true feeling, true memory again would be something they can't buy or gain through
That's true.
force.
But
You have to wonder, would they even appreciate it though if they were that old? Would they even care anymore?
Depends
If
on the
marketed
individual,
correctly.
I think.
and I nudge Callum, if marketed correctly.
Indeed. And I
You
think
all have
that,
regrets.
sorry, Rashad, go ahead.
I was adding that we all have regrets, no matter how old we are, and lost opportunity.
And I think, Bo, that if you're able to accomplish this, giving that to someone so old may come as quite a shock and could,
And that's why I want to be careful.
Any-
That's
yeah.
there needs to be stipulations. There needs to be consent and an understanding that I cannot promise what kind of memory is going to be evoked. That please don't shoot fucking messenger.
It's going to take some experimentation under
Yes,
controlled
yeah.
conditions. Yeah.
Right.
To see what
Right.
effects it does. Yeah.
If it can be done. If it can even be done.
If it can even be done. Otto may tell you tonight, no, that can't be done.
Right. And then I will have to change gears. Yeah.
Would you go back to the drawing board with something different though with it? Or would you stop altogether?
I might just parse it down to, just giving people the ability to eat food that don't have it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something in and of itself, but if I can enhance it, that is really, that's art.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just food then.
Well, we're here, guys.
And as you pulled up to the museum, you drove right past the world's largest shuttlecock that's right out in front of it, pulling over to where you're parking.
It was not impressive. Okay.
I mean, it was a big shuttlecock, but
Oh,
unless
yeah.
you like
it's
badminton.
above table. It is kind of cool.
It is kind of cool above table.
Yep. See, I do my homework. And as you get out of the vehicle, there's a guard at the door to the museum tonight. And right now, they definitely are. There's an event about Indian heritage, and not Native American, but Indian heritage. There's a lot of Indian designs all over the place. But as you get close to the door, the guard looks at you, points to the side and says, around back, the Donald J. Hall Sculpture Garden is where Elysia is being kept tonight. Setsuko has declared the building off limits.
We
Do
go
you know
in.
why?
It is not for me to ask. I merely do as she tells me.
Would my clan merit work in this situation?
I mean, Setsuko's the keeper. She has the right to say that. I don't know. I'm not sure what you would gather from anything there.
Wits
No,
awareness.
No. I have all my clan merit, not my iconography.
Wouldn't allow you in there because no
Okay.
one gets in.
Gotcha.
She has
Wits
declared it
awareness?
off limits. Are you going to try to break? You're going to try to use something? Defy the will of the keeper of Elysia on Elysia? Okay, let's do this. What do you do?
Me?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
No, I said wits awareness.
Oh,
I just
okay,
want to
yeah,
see.
go ahead. You can do that. I'll let you have that. I was about to say, come on, please,
Starting off real strong.
please use your Gwen abilities. Please.
Concealed objects.
Sure.
Okay. I want to search, actually. I want to see what's going on. Yeah, no, I wasn't going to use my ability, but I want to look.
Come on.
I want her to live, okay? Wow, I'm willpowering that.
Wow, that was impressive.
Still not bad.
10 dice, 4 successes.
Phew.
That's a lot of dice.
Did not help.
10 dice, 4
didn't.
successes. I'll keep that in mind and let you know if you notice anything.
And I get hungrier.
Of course, we don't want to go against the keeper, but I was told to meet one of the HOA members here tonight.
Yes, in back. The sculpture garden is out back.
Of course.
And he just stands there by the door.
And we go.
If once he pointed, I will start heading that
Okay.
way.
Mhm.
As you go around the back, it's a nice garden, neatly trimmed hedges, sculptures all over the place. Some of them are a little more esoteric than you would expect.
Can I use my iconography now?
Yes, you can. That's not a power. You can go ahead. Technically, a lore sheet's not a power either. Gwen could have got away with trying some shit. She could have.
What?
I was going to say, y'all keep acting like it's a power. It's not.
It's just
It is a
scary.
power in
She's
your
just
hands.
interesting.
Scary.
It's a power in your hands.
Nope. Sorry, I rolled the wrong thing. I want to.
Remember, everything's a power if the player's creative enough.
Hey, don't blame Gwen for that. Gwen's just here asking questions, okay?
You got 4 so far.
I'll keep it there.
Okay. You don't see anything that jumps out to you as you're going back in there.
Okay.
This being a rather public place where there's a lot of tourists who come through here. Well, as many tourists as Kansas City gets. Enough said. But as you head back, there's a number of people in the back. Somebody's apparently brought chairs. The lawn, folding long chair, director style chairs. You see a whole set of them collapsed up against the wall as you're going around the back. So that if you want to grab one to sit down, you can. And you don't really notice anybody at first, though there is movement in the far side of the thing. This sculpture garden is huge. If you look at the map, it's huge. There's a lot of land back here.
It's big.
So you can wander around and try to find people. But you're not there looking around trying to figure out where to go when a man he's in a cloak. He's got it pulled up over his head, real dark so you can't see his face, kind of steps up. You would be Bo.
Otto, I presume.
Yes. If anyone wants to see if they can peek under his pulled down cowl, go ahead, please. Give me your wits awareness.
Yeah, no, not going to roll that.
No.
Gwen, you get a peek of his face. I'll get to you in a minute.
Oh, I do? I don't have to roll it?
Yeah, you don't have to roll it again.
Okay.
Wait,
Bo's got 4 on this one. Okay.
Why the hell not?
I wouldn't have willpowered. 4 was enough for Gwen to see it, but you didn't know that as a character. So 5.
No, that's a crit.
Oh, it is.
4,
Yep.
5, 6, 7 with a crit.
7. The man under this hood looks a lot like Bela Lugosi as Nosferatu. Like, really, a perfect copy. You wish to speak with me? Do we want to speak privately?
My associate, Callum McFarlane, would join us if that's all right.
Oh, of course. You asked for a meeting.
Is there a spot you prefer in the garden?
Oh, we can go over here. It's a nice open area where we can stand to make sure no one is close to us. Go to the wrong places in here and people can easily hide behind the various hedges and hear all kinds of things. I'm convinced that's why Setsuko makes us go out here. And as he takes you over there, once you're alone with him, he pulls the hood back so that Callum can see him. I'm sorry for my appearance tonight. I had a small problem.
No worries.
No need to apologize.
Yes, it is. Something we can do. We can make ourselves into what we feel is our idolized self-image. I would advise you not to try to do that after a particularly bad week where you consider yourself a monster. Because then you change into this.
Well, for what it's worth, I appreciate you finding the time to meet with us in whatever state. It doesn't bother me in the least.
Well, I'm glad. Pull the hood up because not everybody likes to see me looking like this. I did tell Setsuko I'm being classic tonight, and she did not find the joke as funny as I did. If you're going to go old school, you can't get more old school than this.
Go big or go home, right?
That's right.
Well, I guess to get right down to it, if you don't mind. Don't know if you have any idea who I am or the work I do.
You are Bo Solomon. You work a restaurant with Callum McFarlane, which I assume is this man here.
Correct.
Your restaurant burnt down after some issues with some Sabbat. The Nosferatu were observing. That is all I really can say right now.
That's pretty much what you need to know. So, at least in relation to what my desire for this meeting. For some time now, I've had this itch in the back of my brain that couldn't quite scratch. Food is what I've been called to do. It's had its challenges since my change, but I've made the best of it. And now I think the way for me to best share it with our kind might require some assistance. I want to be able to share not only the experience of eating, and specifically eating my food. Like I said, I have no qualms about my ego when it comes to creating food, but not just the experience of eating it, but evoking memories on dishes from people's past before their change that could bring them some joy, or at least an emotional, hopefully a non-destructive emotional reaction to the art, the food I create.
What you're asking is interesting. I've never considered it. can be difficult. I don't know how much you're aware of how my abilities work. The way my abilities work, of course, it involves blood, but sometimes it takes some very odd other ingredients. It makes it very difficult when it comes to food to properly synthesize something, though normally the final result comes out like blood without the extra ingredients being apparent. That is just part of the process, you might say. Though I guess go ahead.
To be clear, my hope isn't necessarily your help, but those you protect, those you oversee. I know you are counselor of the young, and I would be more than happy to hire on someone as a Sue to not only teach what I do, but then have this be a mutual partnership where they can develop their skill, help me test out this desire. So no, this is not something I'm asking of you. If you are the best person and are willing to step in, great. But this is not a favor I'm asking directly of you, but hopefully if there's someone who you know or have seen that might be best suited for something like this, that is what I'm asking for.
Well, there are many of us in the city, but I am the most skilled, the most knowledgeable, and the best at researching. Hence why they threw my name in the ring for this particular position. Otherwise, I would never have. Well, I'll be frank, I didn't even want this position.
Understood.
But to protect, you might call it my own little family, I figured it was best to take it. So even if I ended up having someone else actually do the manufacturing, most of the work of figuring out how to do it would end up falling with me. And it is an interesting puzzle. I love trying to figure out new things. New formulas are always fun. As I said, though, the difficult part is, see, normally when you're doing something like this, the blood that you're selecting to use for this needs to have a relationship for it. And so you're aware, making any of this will involve blood from one of our kind, at least. So you will be feeding blood to whoever's experiencing it. Now, thankfully, the bond, as it is called, generally fades immediately upon the blood being removed. And for most of our kind, I don't think they would be squeamish about blood, but in all fairness, you should disclose, of course, that this is one of the ingredients that are needed to do it. But we would need blood that somehow is able to hold the emotions. Perhaps the blood of one who can make their senses finer, that might work.
So for further context, I do have the ability to heighten my senses. I have the ability to share my senses outward. Not something I thought that's how that ability worked.
That is odd.
And you talked about a relationship. I think for this to work how I envision it working, there will be a process where I learn, I interview, I speak with the person wanting to go and experience this. So I learn about them and learn about what memory they want to evoke. And that will inherently create a relationship. Might not be, a long-term relationship, but I want to get to know this person to best craft the food and the experience.
And he begins rubbing his hands together. You have a unique ability. I will help you with this. But in return, I'm going to need some of your blood for my own purposes. As you said, you have a unique ability, which gives me a unique opportunity to study it and find ways to use that, well, for the benefit of my
surprising.
clan.
It might look like this. Surprisingly, Bo shakes his head. My father taught me art requires sacrifice, and he agrees.
Very well. I will do some initial research. Then I will send one of my people to gather some blood from you. I will do some additional testing. It'll take some distilling. I've got to figure out what materials would go with it. That is always the hard part. And sometimes it makes no sense. I know there was a drug for a while there being unleashed in DC that of all things used shoe polish. And it was created by one of my kind, but shoe polish was part of it. Now, again, the end result is still just blood. It's not actually shoe polish. So that gets refined out. It's just part of the process. Yes, I will have someone get in contact with you to get blood, additional information, depending on what my research shows. And I can promise you, there's only unintended side effects about 20% of the time. We should be able to work that out. This is an unintended side effect.
I'm just going through all my one-liners today. I have a friend back when I was overseas who said, to get a big score, you got to take a big risk.
I have a clanmate who tells me you got to risk it for the biscuit.
Similar idioms here.
Yes.
Otto, thank you.
No, it's nice to meet you. And I know, Miss McFarlane, you were awful quiet. I do have the advantage of being able to eat food, so I'm sure once your restaurant is restored, I will be coming to visit.
Absolutely. And I would be happy to take care of you.
One of the
I'm
advantages.
merely here in support of my friend and to meet you.
And I'm going to tell you that while there are disadvantages, and I know many of the full-blooded kindred seem to think we are lesser, but some of us can still see the sunlight. Some of us can still eat. Though we still need blood to supplement that, of course, it is not all we can do. But it pays off. There's advantages to both sides. I'm just glad Manuel recognizes that.
He's very progressive and forward thinking.
Yes, he is. And perhaps one day I'll have time to tell you about why I left my previous city and came here.
I would love to hear that.
And of course, maybe over a bottle of wine and a good meal. If you can't eat, I will gladly eat for both of us. I don't always look like this. Sometimes I'm a bit bigger.
I will definitely enjoy a meal. And once we get the wine cellar reestablished, you can have your pick.
That works out well for me. Now that the meeting is done, I've got to go. I've got other business I have to attend to tonight. That's why I set the meeting at a time it is now. I have my own constituents to meet with.
Understood. Otto, I will admit I had high expectations coming here when this meeting was set up, and you exceeded them.
I've tried to be understanding and helpful. I know that I've been given a great opportunity in this city, even if I don't want this job. This is one of the few places where those with blood such as mine are at least given an opportunity without having to eat one of you to get it. I don't think I would trade what I am now to be what you are. I enjoy the sunlight. I enjoy a good steak.
Oh, I enjoy good steak too. Unfortunately, just can't stay down.
It's a shame. Don't worry, I will eat enough for both of us. And definitely,
it was a pleasure.
Some linguine with extra garlic is always good.
Well, there we have a difference of opinion, but not by my choosing.
Oh, garlic is good.
Yeah, yes, it is. But
to each their own.
Well, yeah. I was cursed in more ways than one, and unfortunately, you will not be finding garlic in my cuisine.
And well, that is a shame, but I'm sure we'll find something.
Oh, it will taste good, I promise.
Delicious. But I must go.
Okay.
Like I said, I have business I have to attend to. And he flips his hood back up to hide his face. I don't want to scare the more respectable and sensitive people around here. And he walks out. Now, while this is going on, Gwen, Kat, and Rashad, as you're moving around a bit in the sculpture garden, there is a man you recognize. He's not sitting on a seat. He's not leaning against anything. He's just standing almost stock middle of the Elysia. Hideo is there. Just standing in the middle, standing there perfectly straight, not moving, arms clasped in front of him, but hands visible. He's got his hands kind of like this, clasped together so you can see where his hands are. Just standing there.
His presence is concerning.
Cat has nothing to say to him.
I'm a little curious if it's business or pleasure that brings him.
No, go ahead. I'll meander around and find something fun to look at.
Widow kind of like prance up to him.
Prance. Okay.
Good evening, Hideo.
Miss Schutz.
Schultz.
That is what I said. Sorry, pardon. Did I mispronounce your name?
Miss Schultz.
I am,
Not Schultz.
I am sorry to have offended you. Accept my deepest apologies.
I'll accept on one condition. Are you here for business or pleasure?
The pleasure of business.
Of course, you'd find a way around my question.
Well, no,
I shouldn't expect anything less.
That is the truthful answer.
Oh, I know it is. But that does answer in a way. It sounds like it's always business for you because you enjoy it so much.
That is correct. You understand. I think a bit better than some of the others.
You always find ways to get sucked into what you enjoy, especially in this version of our lives.
For me, this is all I have known. I was a negotiator before becoming this.
What type of negotiations?
Whatever
If you don't
type my
mind.
masters required.
Are we talking business, diplomatic, all of it?
Sometimes violent. As I said, I had a master even then.
Did that bother you?
No. It gave me a place in this world, a purpose, a reason. I never had to question what I was going to do, where I was going to be. Purpose
Have you
is
ever...
important.
Go ahead.
Well, purpose is important.
Have you ever wanted to have a different position in the hierarchy? It's still a purpose, but also helping determine the purpose of others.
I have a purpose. I have a good purpose. I have the freedom to pick my own contracts. I did not have that in life. I have the freedom to go where I wish. And in many contracts, I have the freedom to decide how I execute them. And the way he says execute, you do mean, he doesn't just mean execute a negotiation. It's all I need.
Well, although we were only a supplemental part to one of those items, I'm glad that we could be of some assistance and that for you.
Yeah. You did deny the offer, and that was relayed.
I'm sure it was. I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
You did not try to double deal like some of the others. The ones who paid that price. At least you realized I would know.
You probably know more than you even let your masters know.
There are strict rules as to what I share, what I do not share. The contract outlines everything. It is not my fault if my masters do not properly word a contract. I honor the letter of the contract, not the spirit.
So is there a master who... I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. Who points you in the direction of contracts? Do you work for yourself? I know you said you were given the ability to choose, but that still makes it sound like you're given options by someone.
Options are presented by my clan. I choose which ones to execute. In these nights, the mission of the Banu Hakim have changed in many ways. But the core purpose we have always served, we have always been, is still the same. We are the judges, the mediators, and the executioners. All that has changed is how we are retained.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about your clan. I haven't encountered many.
I am sure you haven't. Many of my clan, when you encounter them, they are the last you will encounter.
I'm sure also half the time if they were around, you wouldn't know it.
Most of them
Unless they
announce their
wanted.
presence before they strike. Most. Some, such as Fatima, make a game of announcing their presence, taunting their targets before executing them. I play no games.
And you don't like people who play games with you.
Well, no. That is discourteous to me.
Absolutely.
I play no games with them. Playing a game with me is an insult to my honor.
I can understand that. Misleading people is something that I'm also very against. People get so caught up in their webs of lies, and it wastes everybody's time, and it causes nothing but pain.
Lies are a house of cards that fall way too easy. And your own honor and integrity is the only thing that can never be taken from you. Only you can give it away, and once given, you have lost it forever.
Hideo, you and I have more in common than I thought.
Possible.
Perhaps I may contact you to just hear stories, your experience, things you can tell and share anyway.
Regrettably, most of what I could share, I am forbidden from sharing. Almost every individual who contracts me does not allow me to discuss the events surrounding the contract or the details of the contract itself.
You've still lived a long life and have developed quite a philosophy that I can understand.
I have lived longer than most understand.
Well, I hope you have a good evening.
You as well. Peace be upon you.
And you as well.
And he bows to you. So we've got Kat and Rashad still moving around while Gwen was talking. Where's Kat and Rashad? Are they still together or have you split up?
I don't know. Did Rashad follow Kat when she meandered right off from Hideo?
Oh, yeah, Rashad doesn't have anywhere else to go, and he would not want to speak to Hideo, so hey.
Okay, hey, we're just going, we're going like arm in arm looking at fucking Heart.
So, as Rorik has entered Elysia. The first individual you see, Rorik, you recognize this entire coterie because you were there for the fight, watching. You notice Rashad in the distance. And you do notice that the one you know as Gwen is talking to Hideo. You did not expect Hideo to be here. Now, Becky is supposed to show up, but I don't know if you trust that she will. She's a bit shaky at times.
I'm going to saddle up right behind Gwen as she's talking to Hideo.
And Gwen, as you're going to as you tell him goodbye and he tells you peace be upon you, his eyes barely flick behind you and he does a second nod. Not
Does
a full
she
bow,
notice?
just a nod.
She'll like try and subtly look behind her to see who's there.
Peace be upon you, Templar Rakosi.
Upon you. You here to keep an eye on me?
No,
Oh, good. Good.
I come to see the beauties of the gardens.
Of course you did.
You know, Templar Rakosi, I do not lie.
I know. Who is this specimen?
And he looks over to Gwen and just nods.
Templar Rakosi, I don't believe we've met. I'm Miss Schultz.
Ah, yes. You're the wild card, as it's been explained to me.
Been explained by who?
Oh, just like Hideo, we all have secrets.
Oh, really?
You having a good conversation? I don't want to interrupt anything.
I'm not.
Templar Rakosi, our conversation has ended. I will remove myself from this immediate presence to give you time to speak in private.
Thank you, Hideo.
And he bows to both of you, and then he wanders off. He moves to the far side of the garden, but he stays in the garden, and he just starts. When he stops, turns around, and stands stock still again. His appreciation of the garden is pretty ramrod straight.
Yep. The man moves like a samurai. Kind of creepy.
Templar Rakosi, I'm not quite sure what you mean about keeping secrets and that being a good thing. I mean, even Hideo was talking about how secrets and lies aren't the best.
Oh.
Could you elaborate a bit? And then I'm going to use my lore sheet to try and get more information about who was talking about her.
Oh, she's going to break out the lore sheet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's not an ability. We just discussed this.
This is, which one are you using? Because you got a bunch of them.
So
it's discerning?
No, it is.
The clan merit.
Yeah, that's the. No, not the third dot. It is the first dot of Trust Me. Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Trying to see what it does. It gives you. Trying to see what the actual bonus is.
Difficulty of any roll to get them to tell them truth lowered by 1.
Okay. So this will be opposed. You're going to roll manipulation. You're going to roll manipulation persuasion. Rorik, you have some dice handy, right? Or do you have dice handy? I can roll for you if you wish.
You know what? Yeah, I'll let you roll.
Okay.
I don't want to take this away from you.
Charisma, potentially?
No, you're trying to get him to reveal secrets that he would never want to reveal. So that is definitely manipulation.
Okay. I am going to surge, absolutely, because I have no dice.
This is one of those cases where difficulty's down by 1. You don't have to tell her anything, Rorik.
Damn it!
The difficulty down by 1 just means you had 1 bonus success is what it really means.
No,
in this.
I know.
So, yes.
But I even critted.
Yep.
And it's ding.
He beat you by 1. After your bonus.
Wow. Shucks.
All I'm saying Miss Schultz, is secrets are sometimes good. You know, you can't play all the cards on the table. You got to keep some close to the vest.
Oh, but Templar Rakosia, I think the best secrets are the ones that dance around in plain sight. Those typically are the ones that people ignore.
Yeah, you and Becky both. Is my child there taking care of you?
You could ask her yourself.
I think distance is best, given our last couple of meetings. Is the McDonald's franchise owner here with you?
I mean, Becky seemed to think it was exquisite. She even came. Well, you were there actually, weren't you?
I was there, but I did not participate. Those were not my orders.
Kat, as you're walking around, you just noticed you're with Rashad's still with you, but you just noticed that Rourke is talking to Gwen.
Oh, she mutters under her breath, that son of a bitch. And then she literally yanks Rashad and starts beelining.
And as this is going on, Bo and Callum have also finished their conversation and noticed Gwen talking to, well, you all recognize him from the fight at the restaurant. But right here, everybody, we're going to break. We will see you in 10 minutes before Katarina blows her stack.
In Elysia.
In Elysia. We're going to go to break. So we will see everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break and the amazing music by Carlene, who actually released a new song today I got to listen to later on. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, it's Elysia night. Bo and Callum got to meet with, finally got to meet Otto Richter. He didn't sound very German. But that don't mean shit, does it?
There were a lot of German settlers in the Midwest.
Yes, there was. Gwen got to have a talk with Hideo.
Yeah.
And then Rurik got to talk with Gwen until Kat noticed. And now the whole coterie has noticed as Rurik is standing there talking to Gwen. And we're going to pick this up right here as I'm, Kat, are you beelining straight to Rurik?
Oh, fuck yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I do have to ask.
Rashad with me.
I do have to ask you to give me a frenzy check.
Okay.
Given your story with him, I do have to make you check frenzy.
Yeah, Bo would have been like, fuck. Callum,
Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Then
I haven't lost my shit yet.
I did have to, given your
operative
backstory,
word.
Yeah.
I did have to make you check.
operative word.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, I turn it over to the players. Rurik, as you see, well, your sister coming at a high, not running, but she is,
She's walking with determined purpose.
and she's pulling Rashad behind her.
Maybe it would have been better if you went and found her rather than her finding you.
And at that moment, she says, brother, why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Oh, why don't you grow up a couple more inches then?
Oh, I can.
No powers in Elysium.
We can
I
step
taught you better than
outside.
that. Taught you better than that as your sire.
You didn't teach me shit. Go outside?
Too close.
Ah.
I don't want to offend certain parties, and I'll look over at Hideo.
Hideo
There
is
are
watching
rules.
the group of you, all six of you.
There are rules. You dragging around your other friend with family issues,
Oh,
Mr. Giovanni?
don't we all have family issues, brother? I mean, you ran out of sisters to kill.
I mean, I didn't run out of childhood to create. I wish you would use the actual title in front of your friends,
What?
since I made you.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. In a panic because you almost killed me.
You know,
Tell me, what did grandmother do to you after that? Was she still using lye baths?
no, she's moved on. She's got
Has she?
plans.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I do wanna shake everyone's hands. I promise not to bite, and I will extend my hand out to Rashad.
We'll take it. I have heard many things about you.
Oh, all bad, I can imagine, given the source.
All things are up to interpretation.
Well, an open-minded lawyer. Look at that. Don't see that every day.
I just tell them the truth, not the fiction you've worked up in your head.
Yeah. There are two sides to every story.
Indeed.
You
And then
wanna hear
there's the
my
one you
side?
make up.
You want to hear my side, Mr. Giovanni? I can sit down with you. I want to touch his suit. Is his suit, like, nice?
Do you try to touch his suit?
100%.
No, thank you. I wouldn't mind a conversation, but if we're being frank with each other, I don't believe there's much for us to discuss.
Oh, I don't know. I've heard that you share your family's abilities with those that have passed on.
Of course. And you are welcome to reach out to the family if you wish to purchase such services, but I don't think we are in business with your kind.
Ooh.
Oh. You warned me, Mr. Giovanni, after we shook hands.
Hmm.
What would your family say about that?
Depends on who you'd ask. Bootness probably wouldn't be invited here. And my other cousins are much more creative than I am.
I think more time with the Ventru and less time with my child might do good for you. Where is Mr. Hospitality himself?
When you turn to look around a little, him and Bo are coming up behind you. They're not running. They're kind of just walking up behind you.
Oh.
Looks like you're surrounded.
I'm perfectly safe.
I mean, no, aren't you just Mr. Popularity tonight?
I am a handsome man.
Maybe with some more work.
Oh. I don't stoop to those kind of tactics.
Oh, like Becky does?
I mean, I do hear that everyone wants to look like you.
And a woman's voice says, "You speak my name and I appear."
Of course you do. I figured you wouldn't be far behind his wake.
I was delayed getting here. Templar? She looks at the rest of you. Trash?
Now, please, my child is among them. I would like some form of, some sign of respect, at least for her.
Of course,
Rorik
Templar.
did also say that you and I had some similarities.
Oh.
Oh, we would. And we do have similarities, except you are dumber, shorter, uglier, and slower than I am. But I'm sure, other than that, we are perfectly the same, right?
I just meant that she was a bit of a wild card, like you are, that's all.
I'd also leave it to my people to decide beauty standards.
Your kind always thought they created the beauty standards. No. Posers, the whole lot of you posers.
What's the beauty standard going for currently on the cook line? Making any McMuffins lately?
I mean, there's good money in it, so, maybe.
I do want to point out the irony of someone who can change however they look on a whim, calling someone else a poser when they literally pose as anyone they feel like at any given moment.
The difference is I can achieve beauty. He can aspire to it. Though here lately, I think him and his friend Rorik only aspire to a fire sale.
Oh, literally snort laughs when she says that.
Nah, too soon. Too soon.
And how many did you lose when we paid you back?
It was.
And
it
she
was
just
good.
winks at Becky.
It was good. I expected something. I didn't expect that. You got me good.
Good.
It
Yeah,
was
I'm good.
a
That was just
shame.
the first volley.
It was a shame to see this magnificent on such
You want to keep going?
Low people, though.
Rurik, I did come here for you.
Oh. I didn't even beckon you. You got me all flustered.
Good.
Well, don't worry. They may have killed with their little games. What did the Archbishop say? Oh, yes, and nothing of value was lost.
I'm sure it wasn't, just like none of you are of value.
Oh.
You have to earn your way. You can't just be given shit like this.
The
Cam
jackboots
does.
still fit, I see.
They always fit.
Of course they do.
I mean, how can you earn something when you weren't even there to do it yourself?
I have earned my position. They earned the death that they got. Isn't that how it works in our side work, isn't it? I mean, Templar...
No, we call the weak. I don't know, our side.
Yeah, good luck replacing those numbers.
Becky, since I'm so dumb, why don't you tell me how you earned your position exactly? Or she.
You don't even need to roll it.
She'll
Okay.
brag. She'll brag.
I helped raid the DC Chantry right in the middle of them. I helped steal artifacts from the DC Chantry. I took records from them at the start of the war after Marcus Vitel fell. Not many of us survive an attack on a Tremere Chantry and live to tell the tale, and then survive not only a war to push the cam out, but some mistaken members of our own sect who forgot which side to fight for.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't the La Sombras that ran that up?
No, the problem was that, I'm sure you've heard this before, Mr. Vikos decided, I don't care what he calls himself, and she gets an evil grin. She knows she's dead naming Vikos. She's being a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Decided he wanted DC. Unfortunately, Templar Tally. Isn't he an archbishop now, I believe? But Templar Tally was the official holder of the city. It got ugly, but I survived. You want to know how I earned my place? By killing and living to see the day. Templar Rurik, I assume your story's not much different from mine.
Not much different, except I created a child there. That's the only real difference, I think, between the two of us.
Yeah, they disappoint, don't they?
Sometimes.
Never heard someone so proud of survival before.
Survival
bit
is a measure
disappointing.
in and of itself.
Indeed, it
You all
is.
fear death so much.
Spoken like a true Giovanni. How did your meeting with your cousin go?
Fine. It's disappointing to see that they would entertain the losing side, but I suppose we all make mistakes.
He says that, Roy.
You-
Do you realize that he came and told us about their little meeting? They sent Rashad packing.
You're not going to the family barbecue?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We should
All right.
arrange another barbecue for him, Templar Rurik.
Oh, my child did say that they weren't done with us. I want to see how they escalate things before I...
It's a war. Of course we're not done.
Okay. I was happy with tit for tat. You know, you had a McDonald's. You invited us. Becky, unfortunately, got the better of herself and set it ablaze. And now you've done us a disservice by taking out some of our rabble. I thought we were done.
What is that saying? Already replaced? Yes, that is the saying. Already replaced.
Yes, with mindless creatures that you can't even control.
You can think that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you able to call some reinforcements in from another city?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course not.
Sabater, we have no numbers left. We are holding on by our last
That's the
fingernails,
truth.
just struggling to survive from your overwhelming power.
Considering how easily we entered your domain, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a big city. It is too easy to move around.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the impression you all were in the middle of a fight in the Middle East. Were you all not invited, or did you run from that one the way you did from Washington and the rest of the American cities you own?
We are the smart ones.
Right.
They weren't invited to the barbecue.
I don't know how much you know of what was going on, but barbecue is a good apt description. And I don't really enjoy barbecue.
I mean, I prefer my restaurants a little mid-rare. You kind of did ours well done, so I'm not too worried about your cooking.
I mean, what I see is that your side is losing territory. That's what I see. So, you're not winning.
A magician always shows you his left hand when he's doing magic in his right.
Of course.
So,
Of course.
you
Keep
know,
telling yourself
looking,
that.
You keep looking at that hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, watch the front. The obvious line of attack. Keep an eye on it. Make sure that you push us back there. Because it's a big city and we would never, ever have other avenues that we're working on.
Of course.
It is all just in that one area. All attention on it.
You talk like I've never been in a war.
You talk like we haven't either.
I'm not talking like you haven't. I'm just getting you to reveal shit, idiot.
I reveal nothing I don't choose to.
You just
The
did.
beauty is, I could be lying. I could be telling the truth. Either way, you have to spend time to check on it.
Ah,
I prefer not to know what you do with your other hand, if I may say so.
yeah, it probably needs to be sanitized afterwards.
It would blow your mind. Don't Toreadors get enraptured by the beauty? I dare say if I showed you what I do with my other hand, you would be lost for a week.
What's that say about you that I'm not?
That your blood is weak, like the rest of you.
That's what you have to tell yourself.
That's what you have to tell yourself.
How do you fit your ego through the door with you? Must be a struggle.
You just use extra
I
wide
think
doors.
the real question is, what's the ego hiding?
Yeah.
What are you compensating for, Becky?
Mm-hmm.
One night you will see.
Promises, promises.
So this is your vaulted sister there, Rorik. I tell you, Templar.
This is my child there.
She is.
You made me, aren't you proud?
I was for a little bit.
Okay.
She's
And then
nowhere
you chose
near
the
as
wrong
good as
side.
Callum will step around Rurik and walk up to Kat, holding 2 glasses of champagne. I'll hand you one.
She'll take one, and she'll drink.
I expected more from your brother, and I've got my back to him.
You should really have no expectations when it comes to my brother.
And it seems like Becky, like a poor dog trainer, spends a lot of time keeping him on a very short leash. And I'll look back at you, Rurik, and I'll say, how do you deal with that obvious lack of respect that she shows you?
And
Or
she
you just have that low of a self-esteem?
she busts out with the biggest laugh. You don't understand a damn thing, do you? You don't know our structure. You don't understand how this works.
He outranks her.
If anything, he leashes me, and I might even like it.
God,
Maybe that means you're insubordinate, Becky.
that's pathetic.
I am who I am. I
I'd
think
be
Templar
careful
Rorik
then.
understands who and what I am
Hmm.
and makes allowances for it.
Don't overdo it.
There's the difference between us and you. As long as I am useful and continue to be useful, I have nothing to fear from Templar Rorik.
True.
I think that Cat here kind of proves that might not be the case with his temper.
I mean, the proof is right in front of you.
The thing about it that you have to understand is that when you attacked a safe house, I know that that wasn't a group decision. I know that that was my childish decision. She's the smartest one of the group. I'm not worried about any one of you except you, Miss Schultz. You're the wild card. You're the only other one that I really am watching. The boys just can spin their dicks like helicopters all day long. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, so that's what you do with your other hand. Thanks.
I know that you like to watch, so...
I wink. But you know, jokes aside, you're right. You should be worried of her. And her.
You know, Templar Rourke, what they say about the wild card. The house always wins in the end.
House always wins.
But who really controls the house? That is the question.
What I love is that the more you rebel against the matriarchal society that you come from, child, the more you embrace it. Look at you, walking in our grandmother's shadow with your own little coterie of miscreants. How does that feel? When are you going to start giving lie baths?
I don't have to resort to that. I don't have
Noted.
to.
Noted.
So they are not willing to do what must be done to win. Noted.
No, it's because I surround myself with competence.
Please introduce me to them when you find them, because I would love to meet them.
God, even your insults are unoriginal.
But obviously it worked because it got a response from you, didn't it? All
We're
the
having
rest
a
were quiet.
conversation. Of
but
course
not
it did.
I mean, we could stop and let you talk to yourself. I'm sure you do it a lot in the mirror.
Well, it would be just scintillating conversation, you see. But once in a while, I like to step down amongst the minch and spend time with them.
The minch. Like, you know what the fuck minch is, you little cunt. Seriously. And she starts coming out with her fucking Queen's accent.
I'm gonna look down at my watch and then touch Becky's face. I'm gonna go say goodbye to Hideo. Let him know that we're done here as far as I'm concerned. The package should have arrived.
Oh, I'm sure the package has arrived by now. And I
was actually thinking of speaking to Hideo again as well.
I think we got 2 points tonight on this one.
I'll hook my arm out. Allow me to walk you over, Miss Schultz.
She's not gonna touch you.
No, not a bit.
They may not have antibiotics.
Not a bit of courtesy? Oh, what will Hideo say where there's no politeness and no courtesy?
He is watching.
Templar Rourke, you were just being a gentleman.
Of course, always.
Mm-hmm.
Being courteous respects my boundaries. I just don't like being touched. I will bow and be polite and be courteous.
I think
I've made note.
Before this ends, I think you shall bow before me. One way or another.
Didn't y'all try that already with Hideo trying to recruit us?
I don't know what you're talking about. Hideo is not in my employ.
Oh, somebody else was. Might want to talk to your peers.
That is between Hideo and them.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand Hideo, you know I have no control over him. No say with him.
She's looking at Rurik when she said that, too, to see if there's any reaction.
I'm already turned around and just like walking towards Hideo, big old embroidered cross on my sleeveless leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad, are you going to spend a willpower?
Do I know for what?
Yes, you have a folklore bane against crosses. And it's on the back of his jacket.
Yes.
There's always one. Always
There's
one.
always one that takes it.
Spend a willpower, please.
I have done so.
Are his
I did
pockets
not
full of
forget.
garlic too?
Did not forget you have that.
No.
I did not tell Rourke that you had that bane.
No. That is something that I always use with my nefarious NPCs. I'm just like, here's a hidden cross, so I know who the fuck.
And Becky just stands there staring you up and down. And this is going to be a fun war.
I look forward to it.
Templar Rourke may not be able to kill his child, but I can.
You can try. Others have.
I'm curious to see what you're really like when death comes for you.
I'm curious to see what you're really like when you don't work on your own face.
You know, oddly enough, I always look like this.
Yeah, because once you do the work, you don't have to change it. I know that's work done.
Bo whispers to Callum, I am curious how shitty her barbecue would actually be.
Have the night you deserve, Becky.
I don't know. You will have to ask Callum here, his waitstaff. I'm sure they got a first-hand view of my barbecue after you killed them.
They were already dead when y'all embraced them.
I won't forget.
Mhm.
And Kat, I think I understand my misconception of their power structure now.
Yeah.
Your matriarchal family structure that Rurik grew up in, and I say this loud enough for him to hear me.
That is just the Rakosis.
Even in his subconscious, he defers even to his
the women.
underlings, defers and fears the women around him.
Oh, yeah.
Even if he's above them.
He is a Rakosi. He pays respect to Grandma Rakosi.
Yeah.
As does anyone who has half a brain. Were she here, I would be nothing but deference to her.
Yeah.
I respect power.
She would eat you for lunch.
I dare say she would eat all of us for lunch if she so chose.
It's all very plain how little respect you have for Rurik.
Yeah.
I obey him. That is all the respect he needs. That is what his purpose is. He
Until
gives
it's
orders.
Inconvenient.
But,
I obey.
sweetheart, you can try. You can try.
No, I perfectly fine obeying. I don't have to try.
No. I'm talking about coming after me. You can try.
Enjoy your gift. And she turns and walks away. Rorik, you and Gwen come over, and Hideo looks at both of you and then bows to both of you. Templar Rorik?
I wanted to say goodbye. Since we have a mutual respect for each other. And I hope that you take note that I did nothing wrong and that I even tried to be as gentlemanly as possible to Miss Schultz here.
I did not hear your conversation. That would break the rules that were set down. But I have noted no actions were taken. That breaks the rules. By any.
By either side.
Excuse me?
I was just going to say by either side, but
Correct.
of course you'd already noticed it.
You got spunk. I like that. And I finger gun Gwen. Don't lose that.
She just kind of bows.
Just walk away.
And Hideo doesn't say a word as he leaves. He's not going to comment.
She might ask a question or make a statement.
Okay?
I would be curious. I know you can't tell me your experiences, but for your opinion on him.
I do not give opinions.
Ah.
He either
Okay.
follows the rules or he does not. That is the only opinion I need.
Okay. Works for me. Thought I would ask. And she just kind of stands by.
It's fine. It is the politeness of conversation. And he bows to you again.
Does it look like he's leaving?
No, he is standing right in that spot.
Okay.
Rorik, do you depart the place? As you walk back, Becky grabs your arm. At least I know how to walk with a gentleman.
That's what I
I've
like about
already
you.
duly ignored both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Done.
Oh, she says it loud enough for people to hear it.
Yep.
And the two of them depart.
That was fun. I mean, I know there are going to be consequences, but in the short term, that was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He uses courtesy as a weapon.
Is that what that's called? Is that what he was doing?
That was his feeble attempt at it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because he's using it as a weapon, he doesn't really understand it. Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I do think he was telling that. Oh, go ahead.
I have probably killed some people. You should check on the people you care about.
I would get an alert if something happened to mine.
I do think he was telling the truth about one thing for certain. Gwen, I do think he is legitimately worried about you.
Oh, absolutely, because he doesn't know what you're fully capable of.
I mean, clearly not if Becky thinks I'm unintelligent. But I'll keep it that way.
Oh, she knows. She's just deflecting.
Absolutely. She has to put so much bluster out. She's compensating for the fact they are losing. That's the reason a Templar got sent. I understand the internal workings of their organization. A Templar doesn't get sent if you're winning.
That's not to say, though, that we can be overconfident about our position either.
No, because when they're losing, they become even more feral. So
I will say, I do wonder if the war is the real reason why he's here. You think that if that were the case, perhaps he would keep a tighter leash on Becky?
Her talking smack in Elysia doesn't truly impact the war at all.
No, but her attacking the restaurant does, and he didn't participate in that. He just watched.
Again, Kellum did invite her.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he was testing her, which could be. I question why he's really here.
I think he was there to ensure that certain individuals were not destroyed.
Still telling. Means he doesn't trust Becky.
Yeah, he doesn't. Well, no shit. She's a fucking Xantosa. Can't trust them for anything. But seriously, he's got orders. He outranks her. He's come because they're fucking up.
How capable would he be as a troubleshooter, do you think?
I'm going to be real with you, Callum. When I last was face-to-face with him prior to this city, it was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he was not a general in the war in New York. He was part of a pack.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how well of a tactician or troubleshooter he really is. I just know he's a temperamental fuck.
Mm-hmm. What kind of things did your grandmother correct him for, punish him for?
Oh, I am damn certain she punished him for embracing me because he fucked up her plans.
I just mean, what kind of things set him off to a point where she would have to step in?
I don't know.
And
like I said, I was a
rein
ghoul. I don't know all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know at one point he murdered our older sister and delivered her skin to her. That's why I made the comment that he ran out of sisters to kill. And then I asked him about the lie bass, because that was her favorite form of punishment. You know what that'll do to Kindred?
I can imagine.
The lie burns us.
Are you afraid of him?
Am I afraid of him? Not a damn bit. I'm too fucking angry. I hate him with every fiber of my being. There is no room for fear. And so help me, even if I fucking end up destroyed in the process, he will go down, his ashes will be contained and put on the fucking shelf along with our parents and our sister. Because my brother died when my grandmother embraced him. And what was left was a fucking monster.
Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Then we should continue to be prepared for what comes next.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we should probably search the car again before we leave.
Yep. Don't you need to talk to, what's her name?
Oh. You are right, and she'll look around for her.
Okay. Setsuko, you can find her if you wander around a bit. You find her.
Yeah. So Gwen will go walk up to her.
And as you come up to her, once again, long black hair. She's still wearing crisp jeans and a loose-fitting blouse. You know, short, but with a lithe build. Gwen, welcome.
Zuko, good evening.
I'm sorry that you were not able to go into the building proper. It is getting prepared tonight for the exhibits. And I did not want us running through the place. We would be unable to have any good conversations.
Makes sense. Based on our first encounter, I would expect you to have something underlying going on. Whatever it may be. I didn't know if that was part of it.
It is a big exhibit for us to do. What can I do for you? Did you have trouble with our Sabat friends tonight?
I wouldn't really call it trouble. An inconvenience, a nuisance, a pain, but not trouble.
So far, they have not crossed any lines that I'm aware of.
Hideo would have acted on it, I'm sure.
He would have come to me first. He actually approached me when he arrived and said that if he is forced to act on grounds of Elysia, he will seek permission of the Keeper first, as stated by the rules.
I was going to ask if you had a contract of a sort for him to be a guard, but that makes sense. He would do it naturally.
Follows the rules. I'm not sure how much you know of the rules of Elysia, but under the rules of Elysia, only I am allowed to keep the peace, and I decide who gets to keep the peace when infractions occur and what the penalties are.
I won't take up too much of your time then, because I know you have a lot to keep an eye on. But I did want to ask if you'd heard of someone unexplainably gaining a photographic memory. If there was some type of sorcery, I don't know.
Interesting question. Our kind have ways to improve our memories, though I've been told that the older we get, the less that works. So many memories to sort through. I'm not aware off the top of my head, but it is an intriguing question. Any particular reason why?
I've heard stories. And I just don't understand.
I mean, I can look into it, but I would need more specifics.
I mean, it's someone I'm thinking of Googling potentially.
You
And
do know
if it
the
could
issues
cause-
we've had with ghouling in the city, correct?
Absolutely. I would leave, but I want to make sure that aside from those issues, that doesn't cause anything else unexpected.
I've never heard of the manifestation of this kind of thing. I can check what records I have. I know there is no chantry now. There used to be one. And I do have some of the records from it. Not all, many were taken.
Sorry to hear it. Knowledge is such a precious thing.
Oh, I doubt it's been destroyed. I just think it is in the hands of the enemy now.
Almost worse than destroyed, then. If you need me to find any information as a trade of sorts, do let me know. I do enjoy it.
I will let you know. I will see what I can find, if I can find anything. I have no promises I can give.
I appreciate any time you have for it.
I'll look into it. It'll give me something to do other than Elysia, which is where I spend most of my time.
Well, I hope you at least find it entertaining then.
I find it peaceful. And that is why I like to come to this particular place. The garden is very peaceful at night. You can almost forget that there's a city outside of here with the way the hedges are made. Almost.
And with everyone acting responsibly, it makes it easier too.
It does.
Well, I won't take up more of your time.
No,
Have a good evening.
it was no problem. And you have a good evening as well. Enjoy the sights while you have time.
I'll be sure to.
And as you walk off, we flash back to the Cat and everybody. Cat, you get your phone starts ringing. It's your husband.
She picks it up. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I need you to come into the hospital, like, immediately, like right now.
Okay. What?
We just had 3 patients came in on ambulance. They look like your friends, Callum, Rashad, and Bo. I know it's not them. The body types aren't right, but the faces, perfect copies.
Huh. Don't tell me over the phone. I'll come in.
Their genitals have been mutilated.
Oh,
Removed, actually.
okay. Yeah.
And I know you said your friend has he's good at figuring out symbols.
Yeah. Why?
I'm going to send you a picture. Please delete it afterwards. We don't want,
Yeah.
this is, I know this is HIPAA violation, but
Well, it's
this
not
is strange.
Work in the case, but yeah. Okay. What?
He sends you a picture and it's the backs of 3 men. He's taken 3 different pictures and then used the editing to combine them side by side. And there's some symbol on the backs of these men in scar tissue. It's only a full symbol when all 3 of them
Okay.
are side by side.
I'll be there in 20. Have them prep the ORs for him.
Sure thing. I knew you were on call tonight. Plus,
Yeah.
this is up your alley. I don't do that kind of repair.
I'll be there. Just have them prep the ORs. Okay, I'll be there in 20. And she disconnects the call.
Yep.
And she says, Bo, you see anything in this? And she shows him the pictures.
Give me your kindred iconography roll. Which is streetwise and something or another. What was it?
Wits.
Wit streetwise, yep.
Yep. Willpower.
Four. It is a symbol of some kind. It reminds you a lot of some of the Sabbat symbols you've seen, but there's differences in it that it's not like all the others. It reminds you a lot of the ones that are scattered about your domain, the old ones that were wiped off.
I'd relay that.
And she's gonna look at it. Can she interpret what the differences are?
Based on what he said,
Yeah.
by looking at it, you suspect it is Rourke's pack symbol.
this is yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, for Beau, Rashad, and Callum, you didn't hear what their faces look like.
That's why I said he kind of.
She hasn't said it yet. She said, okay. So that package, and as Gwen is coming up, that package they were talking about delivering were these three guys. They were made to look like you three guys, which my husband knew it wasn't y'all. He's on at the hospital tonight. And they've had their genitals removed. And this was carved on their backs as a message to me. Cute. Yeah. We'll talk about what we're going to do next after I get done being in surgery until almost dawn. I've got to go, guys. So let's get. Do you guys want to call cars, or do you want me to drop you off and
We'll figure it out, Bill.
Because I got to go. Yeah.
And this cat hops in the car. She's got to go to surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, she is Zemitzi. She can technically rebuild them.
I can rebuild them faster than before dawn. But yeah.
What the rest of Cody? Do you need to have a talk before we end this episode?
I would just say I'm very glad she told me after I looked at it what happened. Though the deranged laughing was a little uneasy. No, just me?
No, it is fine. We should go back soon.
Did Gwen hear any of it? Like, did she walk back?
You heard her say what was at the hospital, yes.
Yeah, what it was, yeah. Because you had come back, as I said, as you were coming back, I would say, this is, yeah.
And the deranged laughter comment was in jest, just be clear. Like, she's a doctor. She's seen lots of
Not
weird
only that,
stuff.
she's Rourke's sister. Okay, she's not surprised.
Right.
It makes sense why Kat wasn't included amongst them.
It was just the men.
But why?
Genitals
Unless
removed.
they don't respect us.
And it would be very weird, too, if they were sent to her hospital and she were there and then she shows up.
No, I understand Kat. I understand why Kat wasn't.
Oh.
Rourke said he respected you, Miss Schultz. But he does not respect the three of us. Which is annoying.
Also, our packages are easier to remove.
You could mutilate, though. I don't. You'd get the same message, but we don't have an answer.
He's also not the most original person. Like, he's easy, snip, snip, send off, try to send a message. He doesn't seem that deep.
Let's go.
So you all head out.
Before we head out, I would stop at Hideo.
Okay. He's still standing there.
Okay.
Unmoving.
I would ask him if he has a moment to step aside, maybe out of eye line of so many.
Unfortunately, it is best I do not stand in a place where I cannot be seen. It might give the wrong impression to those that are here that I might be plotting or planning something that is dishonorable.
Very well. I was just trying to honor your traditions, and I'll reach into my jacket and pull out a small paper wrapped, twine tied package, and I'll hand it to him as I bow with both hands.
He takes it, looks at it, opens it up, reads it, rolls it back up. I thank you for this gift. You honor me.
You honor us.
Go in peace, Mr. McFarlane.
You as well, Mr. Hideo.
May your night be fruitful.
From your lips to the universe.
And he bows again.
I'll bow and leave.
And you all have to call a vehicle because, well, Cat left and you all rode together.
Yeah.
Bo would call Teddy and say, hey, we need a ride. Could you pick us up, please?
Okay. Teddy comes to pick you up. I think right here's a good spot to end this episode. This has been a doozy, though. First off, let me thank Ravnos Archon up there.
Thank you for playing my character's asshole brother.
Thank you for giving me a reason to branch out.
Yeah.
He's not a monster. He's a perfectly he's not a nice guy.
Fucking monster. And by his end, y'all are really gonna love when he falls. Okay.
I hope everyone was okay with the level of detail I went into. We did not want to go into graphic detail with what was done, but I was trying to portray the level of evil that Rorik actually is, for all his civility in the conversation. He's a bigger monster than all of you, I think. Perhaps. I don't know. Kat might be a bigger monster. She just hasn't unleashed it. And nobody knows with Gwen. There's something underneath, lurking under Gwen's skin that we don't know what's under there yet. But we'll find out. And I do think Ravnos Archon, and of course, you, the viewers, my players, this was episode 7. We got 3 left this season, everybody. 3 left. Wonder what bad shit's going to happen next. Let's see what this coterie does to respond to that, to the emasculation of 3 of their coterie members.
Milla Rakosi Jr. come up with to get her brother back.
We'll see what you come up with. Everyone, this episode, you get 2 XP. Back to the standard. This was just an easy episode. There was no real threat. There was no real danger. You only get 2 for this episode. Sorry. But, of course, everybody, please join us on our Discord. The Discord is where we, excuse me a second, is where we cast this show from. We cast all our shows from. Your casting call is still open, isn't it, Ravnos Archon? For Dune. If you want to be in the 2nd season of Dune or the 2nd chapter, because it's set in the future from a couple 100 or so years, something like that, after the first one. So if you want to be in our Dune chapter 2, be on our Discord. Go over to the casting couch and let Ravnos Archon know. You might get to play with me and Relin and Ravnos Archon and Junie. We love being played with. Never mind. Yeah, I got dirty with it. Fuck it.
I mean, we know Ravnos likes to watch. He said that.
Yes, he does. And, Bo said, don't worry about what Becky's other hand's doing. It's okay. Anything below here on camera doesn't happen. You don't know about it. So join us on the Discord. Please pop over to our YouTube to catch our back episodes of this, of Dark Ages. We just wrapped up our Dark Ages season 3 on Wednesday. It was the finale of the season. They survived. Now they get to go another 100 years into the future and find out what's next in their timeline. but another step of Gehenna. So yeah, catch those back episodes. Catch Changeling, Werewolf, Mage. There's the storyteller for Mage right up there. Bluebeard's Bride. That's our storyteller over there for Bluebeard's Bride. And for Nighthawks and for Bedlam Hall, where House down there beat my character's ass in a literal sense. After getting me fired, well, the other people got me fired. He took me to the train station and left me on the train with an ass whooping. Not the trip to Pound Town I wanted, but I got a train to a different kind of Pound Town.
You got a ticket for an ass whooping.
That's right. So seriously, pop over to YouTube. There are so many good shows on the episode on the YouTube
content, y'all. You can sit there for years.
We've got over 400 uploads already, and it's not getting shorter and shorter. It's climbing. So pop over to Ishvel's channel if you want to see some D&D or Call of Cthulhu. That is Tish. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to the channel section of our YouTube, and there's a link to Ishvel. We have her listed in our favorite channels list so that you can pop over to her channel and check out D&D and Call of Cthulhu, because our wonderful DM Tiss, she puts on a good Call of Cthulhu game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as dark as a Shanky game, which is good because, God damn it, we can't all be as dark around here.
And you can check out Rashad here in that game as well from time to time. So, yeah.
She hasn't killed him yet.
No.
I'm just mad she hasn't killed John Greaves yet. I'm trying.
Librarian is tough.
Yeah, he has a way of surviving. Don't know why. If you want to see some amazing content creators, one of them up here, one over here. There's even one down here, but not on our friends list, but we'll get to that in a second. I'll let them all talk about themselves, what they got going on, so you can go visit and see them. You want to get some studio merch, go to our merch store over on Zazzle. You can find some McStabber Studios merch. Make sure you sign in. Some of it has got, bad words. But as we mentioned in the Dark Ages, there's also some stuff like Red Rockets for Gaia, which is, it's a rocket. It's a rocket. Don't worry. But there's a hidden meaning to Red Rockets for Gaia because they're all werewolves. I know some people have bought that and worn that shirt, even on stream.
No cowards here.
And no cowards here.
Chronicle. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. People have worn them on stream with us. So check that out. Bits and donations, they go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way for you, the viewers, to give to the players of this stream in appreciation of the effort and the work we put in for it. Because, I know you're the viewer, you have to put time to watch it, but we have to put time not just to watch it, but to plan the session. And I'm not talking, it's improv, but, what's everybody doing tonight? Costumes, get ready. There's a bit of back end work for everybody. So it's more than just playing.
This ain't free, y'all. This ain't free.
This is, except Mama keeps insisting on charging.
That damn straight.
Don't know why. If you want to give to the studio, subscribe on Twitch, pop over to our Ko-fi, or if you're watching on YouTube, free way to support the studios on YouTube. Like the video, comment on the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. Any interaction with the video drives up its search rating so that more people will see it, and that helps the channel. That is a way to support that costs you absolutely nothing.
If you're watching it, just put a simple comment, please. Please.
Even if the comment is, Shanky, cut your damn hair, or Shanky, trim your beard, or Shanky, I notice you're getting the butt chin because your beard's getting longer, and when you talk, your beard goes, That's fine. That's fine. I notice it every time I talk that it starts doing this.
Starts to split.
Yeah. Because I got a cleft right here. It makes my whiskers go. So yeah, just do that. That's all. That little bit helps the studio. Trust me, we're not making money on this studio, but every little bit helps to offset because it gets expensive, to be fair. Wow, that's it for me. Now my wife can give the schedule.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for session 7 of season 2 of Kansas City, A Domain Divided. Oh my God. And thank you again, Ravnos Archon. Seriously. I love that you're playing my character's brother. I love you as a person, but he's so fun to hate.
I tried. Got it right.
He's the civilized one. Becky's the crass and crude one.
Oh, yeah. No, Becky's so easy to instigate. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do you have this position? You can't take an insult.
Because you can't kill the bitch.
But Anyway, coming up over the next week, we have tomorrow a special presentation. It is going to be, after like 8 months, the finale of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodied Fields.
Back to the corn, Children of the Corn vampire time, baby.
Yeah, and let me tell you, those characters, they be fucked.
2 of them just eating the bloody meat ground. That's just not a good idea.
And one of them carrying around a wolf heart. Yeah, so they fucked. So join them at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow when they play that. It was yummy. Beatles Spock said that.
He's the one carrying it around.
Yeah, so join them at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for that. And then Wednesday, we got nothing, y'all. Nothing.
Taking a break. I need a damn break.
Yeah. But Thursday, got my game, Monster of the Month. Mm-hmm.
With a combination of Group 1 and 2.
Yeah. This is after I introduced Group 1 and Group 2. Now they're going to intermingle. It's great. It's great.
Insanity's
They're all part
coming.
of the same organization now, so now they can intermingle. Yeah.
Insanity is coming.
So I will tell y'all, I haven't written up the whole whole scenario, block out yet. But I will tell you, these investigators that are going out for Monster of the Month next week will be going to Europe for a problem. So you'll want to tune in 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday for that. And of course, with Monster of the Month, it is using the Monster of the Week TTRPG system, which is powered by the Apocalypse system. These sessions are completely contained scenarios. So if you've missed prior sessions, that's okay. You can always tune in at any point and get a complete story each session. So hope you'll join us. And then on Friday, we will be back here again at 8 p.m. Eastern with Season 2, Episode 8 of Kansas City, A Domain Divided.
And if you're on here and you're on our Discord, pop over to the Bloody Fields chat. Place your bets as to whether I'm going to break the cycle of what happens to all the vampires in my vampire miniseries and one-shots. Because so far,
everybody's died.
It's been 100% kill rate on any of my miniseries or one-shots for vampire. 100% kill rate. Am I going to break that cycle yet or not? We'll find out tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
So, and remember, if you're in Europe, your time zone is shifted from ours right now because daylight savings is different.
Changed to DST yet?
Yep. So it'll be slightly different. I forget which direction it is. It is.
They're still behind us.
Yeah, still behind us. So it'll be like if you're, I think like 7 p.m. your time instead of 8 p.m. Something like that. So, but please, if you're from Europe, make sure you check time zones.
Yeah.
Because, we got to make things complicated with different daylight savings in different countries for some reason. Yeah. So we're going to go around the table. We'll start right here with our guest. You get the honors of going first. Tell people where they can find you and what you got going on.
Oh my gosh. I am the Rebels Archon, like I said at the beginning. I have my own Twitch channel here where I do TTRPG stuff. I will be starting back up slowly because of certain situations that have happened to me next month. But once we're back from break on Wednesday, we're going to be starting our Mage Chronicle, our full-length actual Mage Chronicle here. And when Kansas goes on break, I will be running a second season of Dune. Which is going to be really, really interesting to go back to one of the pivotal characters from the first season and see what happens 100 years later. But otherwise, you can find me here or on my own channel.
And check out his channel. Good shit over there. When he's back to streaming on his channel, he's, taking a break, recouping, recovering his juice. You got to get that once in a while. You got to get your juice back, your mojo. That once your mojo's all fixed, you'll be back. Then you can get some cross-mogenation going and, shooting out your jubilees with gun. Oh, that's a different thing. Never mind. We're not going Austin Powers.
No, it's a different festival entirely.
Totally. That would be Becky. Becky would be doing that, not Rurik. So, Mischievous Red, let everybody know what you got going on.
Yeah, kind of in the same boat with nothing right now because I'm moving still.
Ain't it
But-
fun?
Yeah, our internet went out, and it's a whole ordeal.
I was almost kidnapped again.
Was almost kidnapped again.
Wait, no, see, that's shade. That hurts my heart because it has happened to your characters a lot.
It has. Because I have to miss a lot, unfortunately. Even when I'm trying really hard not to, the world conspires against me and my internet goes out. But anyway, I do occasionally stream on my own channel, where I'll stream mini painting, or Final Fantasy 14, and I might get to streaming like digital painting, but we'll see. I've got other things planned coming after the move is settled, so I guess stay tuned.
I'm hoping to finish one of my Oathsworn miniatures this weekend so I can post pictures. You mentioned a mini painting, so I can post up a picture of it.
I've been looking at airbrushes. I've been considering getting one. We can talk about it later.
I have not used an airbrush for this one. I'm trying pure brush to see how well I do.
And
I know I'm good with an airbrush, but I'm going pure brush to try.
I can't wait.
Yep. Rashad, let everybody know what you got going on.
Sure. So you can find me over on twitch.tv/rerolls this Sunday as we continue our Bourbon Street Blues Chronicle, where we get to investigate people selling drugs and blood at the same time.
Fun.
Bloody drugs. So go ahead, post your link in the chat there for Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, Rerolls, REEROLES. Go over and check that out. Bo, House, what you got going on?
You can find me in my kitchen trying a new cookie recipe. I'm going to be making lemon pink peppercorn shortbread cookies this weekend.
Yum.
That's where I'll be.
If you're on our Discord, I'm sure you've seen House's pictures he posts in the food channel. He taunts us with good food.
I just want to know what you charge for catering.
We can't afford to.
Do you offer mail order?
I would say we can't afford to pay for your flight, so you're going to have to
You wouldn't
fly
want to
here.
pay for it, mostly because it's not cheap to buy for one.
Yeah. Do you offer mail order? Yeah.
Good food is never cheap. So, so everybody, as always, when we end these streams, mental health, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. We want you to take your mental health seriously and the mental health of others seriously. Check in on those around you. Make sure they're okay. I know a lot of people aren't. It takes a lifeline, a kind voice, someone just saying, hey, are you okay sometimes to help out. So please do that. And if you suffer from mental health issues, I want to tell you it's okay to not be okay. The stigma that is attached to mental illness in this country and in this world is wrong. There should not be a stigma attached to it at all. So you're aware. So please, I want you to take care of yourselves. And if you don't feel you have a support network that you can reach out to the numbers in chat right now. You can call or text them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can get the help that you need because, look, mental health is health. And it's important to take care of yourselves. So please do that. And if you're on YouTube watching this or you're not in the U.S., go to findahelpline.com, put in your country of origin, and you can find out the support network for your country. Because, look, we want you to take care of yourselves and be here. And the only way to do that is if you get the help you need. So please take care of that. And also, as of tonight, we hit 1,400 followers here on Twitch.
Woo!
Which, oddly enough, is less than our amount of subscribers on YouTube, which is weird.
But that's okay. We appreciate every single one of y'all.
Yep, we appreciate both. We are building on both platforms.
Yeah.
So,
And we've got over 400 people in our Discord server. Isn't that crazy, y'all?
September will mark 5 years.
Yeah.
And now I can turn it over to my lovely wife for her last parts of the outro as we end.
All right, y'all. Yeah, seriously, take care of your mind, your mental health, your emotional well-being, your spiritual health if you feel inclined to do so. Take care of those things. Also, take care of your physical health. Really, y'all. I shared this on Wednesday, and I found out today that my friend's mother, who had caught the flu, and it turned into pneumonia, and she ended up on hospice, passed away today. Flu still kills people, y'all. Get your flu shot. And even if you don't get that terribly sick from flu, one of your loved ones might. So get your flu shot. Same goes for COVID. Sure, you might have had it once, twice. It may not have faced you that much, but someone you love might catch it and it kills them. So get your COVID boosters. For real. This is what happens. Get vaccinated. And please, more states are having primaries all the way through the summer. Make sure you are registered to vote. For primaries, you may have already missed your deadline to participate. If you haven't registered yet, check your state because each state has their own regulations on that. But please check and make sure that you're registered, that you participate in primaries if you are a registered voter. Make sure you double check your registration, that your party affiliation is correct. And also check that your registration is still active, because I'm going to be fucking for real. Republican states fucking purge voter rolls left and right, especially of Democrat voters, trying to suppress votes. The shit should be illegal, but they do it. So make sure your stuff is right. And of course, if your state's primaries are already done and over and you've participated, thank you so much for that. Thank you. I know ours is coming up in May where we are. So seriously, thank you for doing such. It is so vitally important because that's how you pick who's on the ballots, y'all. And then in November, we've got to turn the fuck out, y'all. Republicans are losing seats in the House before the fucking election. Republicans are fucking leaving that ship. The rats are leaving the sinking
Another
ship.
one announced today they're retiring.
Yeah, another one. They're down to only one vote over Democrats.
They can lose one vote and then they can't win a vote
Mm-hmm.
after this guy leaves. It's
They are
hilarious.
down to one more than Democrats now. Their majority is so fucking slim. We need to turn the fuck out, y'all. November.
Their own party are screwing them with the timings of their leaving just to really screw each other over.
Yeah, because the one that just announced today, he's leaving at the point that they can't even do a special election to refill his seat. It's going to wait till November.
Yep.
Yeah. So literally, when literal Republicans are leaving the office to fuck over their own party, you know their party is gone fucking off the deep end. Okay? So make sure you turn out in November. We got to get control of the House and the Senate to actually get shit moving through. Because it took until today for them to fucking fully fund the government. 3 months into the fucking year.
This is the first time they funded it.
6 months
forever.
since the fiscal year started. They finally got fucking funding for it. If I was that bad at my job, I'd be fucking fired. So fire the fucking Republicans. Enough said. Love you.
And I want to say this. Hey, 3 non-shopping days until my birthday.
Yeah.
I turned 49 on Monday. I say non-shopping days, don't buy me shit. Buy yourself something or buy your loved one something. And if they ask, say, look, Shanky told me to buy this for his birthday for me or for you. Tell them,
Seriously, treat yourself.
treat yourself or those you love and tell them you won't argue with a guy named Shanky. His name is fucking Shanky.
Or Mama McStabber.
Yeah. So
Fucking treat yourself.
seriously, don't get me shit. I don't need shit.
And
I get my own shit.
I also want to thank our community. Those on Discord know. I want to thank you for your contributions to the fundraiser that I had posted there. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Truly. Thank you all.
Yep. So I thank everyone for coming. 3 more episodes left this season. I wonder what we got going down. And I see Beetle Spock in chat. We need to talk because somebody's requested your appearance before the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just letting you know, Beetle Spock, since you're here. So good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.